This is a story about a teacher or a guru teaching their students or the disciples a lesson, an important lesson which you can implement, and this is going to help you succeed in any part of your life, whatever domains it is. So one day the teacher asked all the students that whoever completes this activity and completes it to the end is going to get settled for the rest of the life and is going to get rewarded by the teacher. So everybody was very excited. So the teacher said that there is a forest out there and they have to cross the forest, go over on the other side, and there is a small mountain over there, and there is a particular flower. They need to pick that flower up and bring it to the teacher and give it. Okay, so they have to cross the dense forest. Now, after he said this, everyone, started thinking, okay, so we should go like this, we should go like that, how much time it is going to take, who is going to take the flower and come. And now the teacher started giving the conditions and the possibilities of what could happen and what could go wrong in the forest. So the teacher said that the forest is very dense. There are many animals out there, many dangers, and there is no guarantee that you will not get hurt. In fact, we don't know whether you are going to return alive or not. And once you cross the forest to go to that place, it's sort of a mountain type, there is no guarantee whether you would be able to pluck the flower because it was, surrounded by poisonous plants as well. So now, they are starting to get a little scared. The students are starting to getting a little scared. After that, he added again that this activity would not be done in groups. It would be done by individual people. And to cross the forest, to go over there, it is going to take few days. It might just take 3, 4, or even a week, like around 6, 7 days. And now the students are getting really tensed, and they asked that, is it really compulsion? Is it really compulsory to do this activity? Isn't there any other thing that they can do? So the teacher said, of course, there are other things as well. So you can do this activity if you do not wish to go to the forest. But then you have to complete all these activities within a certain period of time, within the school premises. So the students agreed, and there were students who first decided, okay, I'm going to go to the forest because this is a very important thing, and the teacher also mentioned that we'll get a reward and we'll be set for life. So let me try out the forest activity. And some of the other students picked out the other activities that were there in the school premises. So the handful of students who picked out the activity of the forest, they started off, and everybody wished them best of luck, and they set sail. So towards the end of the day, a couple of people came back. They couldn't even enter the forest because they were so afraid. And they were like, we don't want to enter the forest because it's too dark, it's too thick, and we don't want to do this activity. The teacher said, fine, that's okay, you come back. Now the remaining couple of people more, they came back middle of the night because they entered the forest and they found it so scary that they just returned because it was getting dark and they were alone, and 2 of them came back. Now there was only one person left who went into the forest and he did not come back. So a couple of days went by, few days went by, and now it was the 5th day. So by now, the student who went through the forest came back. And everybody was surprised. Everybody were also looking forward because they did not know whether he was alive or not. And they were really happy to see him, as well as very much intrigued to hear how was his journey. And the student was carrying the flower in his hand and gave it to the teacher. So everybody was said, how did you manage to complete it? The student was really surprised himself, and he looked at the teacher and said, teacher, you said there would be so many things in the forest and it's so dangerous. There are poisonous plants out there, etc. But there was nothing. It was really a smooth journey. So the teacher laughed, looked at him and looked at the other students and said, this is what exactly I wanted to share with all of you. That is, there were no fearful animals in the forest. There were no dangers as such. And there were no poisonous plants out there. In fact, the flower was at a place where you just go ahead, cross the forest, and you can simply pick the flower and come back smoothly. Yes, you have to stay, in the jungle in different places throughout the night. And it was easily managed because the jungle did not have any animals out there. So the student was really confused by this. So then the teacher explained. The moral of this entire story was he wanted to teach them a lesson, that he shared a certain situation, he shared a certain incident, or he shared a certain case study to them. And they believed everything that he said, even the fears. He created them in their minds. And they believe those fears without even experiencing whether it is true or not. So what he mentioned was, all the things that he said was created in their minds. The fears were not real at all. Yet they made it real in their mind, which did not even existed. And that just simply opened the eyes and minds of the people, of the students out there. And this is how most of the people, you, me, and a lot of other people have been going through till date. But when I came across certain situations in life where every time I realized whatever fear it is always in my head, slowly it became like a habit pattern that whenever I see any fearful situation, or I sense that fear is emerging, that is the moment I analyze myself, distance myself from the situation, and see, is this real or is this in my head? What happens if I do that? What happens if I experience this? So here is something you need to do yourself. If you are in a situation, whether it's in your relationship, in your career, in your business, with respect to your health, does not matter. Whatever is right now in front of you, you need to ask yourself, is this fear real? Is this really what I am seeing? It is as is. So that moment you are going to realize that 99% of the time it's only there in your head. The fear is not real. It is made up by you because of all the conditioning, because of all the information, because of all the assumptions. So next time when you face a fear, remember this. Is this your mind making up? Okay, your thoughts making up in your head? Or is it really what it is in front of you? And if it is, if it is what really you are thinking, you are seeing, how can you come out of the situation? Because only when you see it with a little bit of distance, pausing yourself, analyzing it, you understand there is always a solution. Okay, so if you want to know more, if you want to make the kind of decisions that you have been wanting to make and not regret about it, learn about it more in my book, 7 Steps from Shame to Being Back in the Game, which is available on Amazon. And in this book, there are many exercises and steps that I have written, that I have implemented myself and came out from a rock bottom phase in my life when I was at my personal and financial rock bottom. So thank you so much for being over here and watching this video. Also, if you have any questions, if you want me to make some of the videos with respect to certain topics, do share in the comment section or drop me an email to the email address given below in the description. I will see you soon in the next video. Thank you so much.